Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we will be seeing how to create a login API and connect it to our database. So let's start. So we already have our basic API ready of a hello world. Now we'll create a folder structure that we will be following throughout this video and in upcoming lectures also. So what we will have is a controller. This is a controller where all the APIs, the main logic of the APIs will be written. Then we'll have a routes folder. Here we'll have all the routes specific to each and every task, say user, and a to do maybe for our case. And the third folder we need is a repository folder. So in repository we'll have all the database related logic. So first we'll go to routes, create a new file. We'll just call it as user routes. This will have all the user related routes. We'll create another file which will have to do related routes. So to create a route, we'll go back to our Deno homepage, go to third party modules, go to attain. Here we'll just copy this line. For our case, we only need a router. So let's delete other things and save it. So how do we create a route? Very simple. It's similar to how we created an application, but rather than creating an application, we will be creating a router instead. So we'll just const say user router is equals to new router. That's it. You have your router. Now you need to define the paths. So the first path will be user router dot post. In post we'll have v1 slash API slash user. Okay, that we'll have in our main. We'll create a hierarchy. So for here we'll just call slash login and we'll call our controller. In this router we will be calling our controller. So what we will say is user login. It'll throw an error because we haven't created a controller right now. So first we'll just define the router and then create our controller. So next we have user router. Okay, for now just focus on login API. So that's it, and we'll go ahead and export our user router. Okay, declaration or statement expected. Yeah, default. We need to export it as default. Then in controller, we'll create a new file. We'll say user controller controller.ts. Then we'll copy these four things and remove router and application as it's just a function. So we'll create a function, say export const user login equal to. So here we need to define our actual user login method. So it will take two parameters, same as what we did in app, request and response. But here we need to define the type. So what we'll do is say request and response as response. There we go. And here we'll just console.log. For now, we'll just console.log the request. And yeah, controller is ready. All we need to do is import it here. So it will import the file and we make sure it is .ts. Then if you don't write .ts, it won't work. that is a JavaScript notation. For TypeScript, you need to write .typescript or TS. So here it's fine. Now all we need to do is we need to create a new app.use. And as I was defining those v1/API, that we will define here. This will be our main route, and that will be sub routes to that main route. So we'll just say /v1/API/user, as it's a user route. So we have written /login here, and we'll define that the user routes will go, all the user related routes will go to user routes. We'll import it here again .ts. Yeah, that's it. I think we are good to go. So let's just test it out. Go clear it, deno, run, --allow net uh, app.ts. So it's compiling. We should see server is up. Server is up. So we'll go ahead and open Postman. We'll just clear all. We'll start from, no, sorry. Just not save. Discard. So we'll create a new tab. We'll define it again, local host colon 3000 slash v1 slash API slash user slash login. This is our route. So for now, we'll just pass some body, go to raw. Instead of text, we are passing a JSON object. So we can just type it out here. We'll say username. We'll say username, user, password, pass. Yeah, so it's correct. We'll send the request. We'll see if we console log it. Okay, so what did we do wrong here? So we have to write post rather than get. It's a post request, so we'll just send it. Now it should work. Yeah, so we have a console log message request. Now, why did we not see username and password like the body? So we actually did not wait till we get the actual request. We just printed out the object request that we were sending. That means that this request object has been printed out rather than the actual request that has been sent. So what do? We have a very beautiful function called async function that we can create it. So we can say async, and now we'll console log the body instead of the request. So what we can say is we'll create a variable const body equal to, so now as it's an async function, we need to await till the request actually comes to that point. So we'll say await, and we'll await for the request to generate the body. Once the body is generated, we will again await it till we get the values. A body is generated, then we need to wait till the actual values are generated. So we'll say await again, and we'll await on value. Now we'll console.log the body, close this. So we don't want to do this again and again. Every time we make some change, we do not want to close it and then restart it. So that is why we need denon. So what we'll say denon, and then the same thing, run --allow net app.ts. What it'll do, it will hot reload every time there's any change. We'll just wait. Yeah, so it's compiled. We'll wait for the server to start. Yeah, server is up. So now all we do is just send the request and see here. We have our data. So we have got our data. And now we have to set up a database. So now we will start with our MongoDB. First, we will connect to an online client, that is a MongoDB Atlas that we will be using for this tutorial. So open up your browser, search for Mongo Atlas. Yeah, MongoDB Atlas. First link. You can sign in. I already have an account. If you do not have an account, you can go ahead, create an account and just log in with my account. Yeah. So once you are in, go to projects. I do not have any project as of now, so we'll create one. I'll just name it as to do app. Say next. No member, create project. So now we need to create a cluster. A cluster is similar to a schema. Create a free cluster. Okay, select place. I'll just go with default settings. Cluster name I'll change. It'll be to do cluster. So yeah, so you have a 512 MB free storage. And now I'll create cluster. So it'll take some time for our cluster to start up. Before that, we'll just go and see what we will be using for our connection. Go to third party modules, search for Mongo. So Mongo we will be using for our database setup. Now, first we need to create a file that will have all our database related queries or operations. So that is why we have a repository folder. We can go create a new file. Say for now, I'll just name it as Mongo, but you can be a little bit more specific. And here, what we will be doing is copying these three lines. Okay, the last line did not come. Yeah. So what we are doing is we are calling the MongoDB client. We are importing the MongoDB client from the library. Then we are creating a new MongoDB client, and then we have to connect to the URI. Now, this is a localhost URI. We have not set up MongoDB in our localhost. So we will be using the URL that the Atlas will be giving us. Let's see if the cluster has started. It's still waiting. It may take time. So we'll just wait. Okay, so for by the time we'll write our other queries or those things. So first is we need to call our cluster. So how do we do that? According to the documentation, what they say, you have to collect to the cluster by client.database. So our database, we need to connect by saying data db equals to client dot database, client.database. So our database is to do. Once we have a database, what we need to do? We need to call the collection. Here we can see it's calling the collection. So we can go call const d collection is equals to db dot collection. I think, yeah, collection db dot collection, and our collection name is, I guess, to do. Or what did we write a collection? Oh, we haven't defined a collection right now. So yeah, it's started. So we have connect. And so you want to add your current IP address. So yes, add IP address. Second, you want to connect. First, you want to create a MongoDB user. So we'll just say to do, and the password will be to do pass create MongoDB user. Now choose a connection method. We will connect to our application. So this is our URL that the MongoDB generated for us. So we'll copy this and we'll just paste it here. Remove all these things. Now, as we have not defined a database, we need to define it. Sorry, we have to define the collection. So we'll go to collections. As you can see, there is no collection. I'll add my own data. A database name will be TodoDB and the collection name will be user. We'll create it. Yeah, so it has created. So that's what we're going to do. Our name is TodoDB underscore DB and our collection is user. Perfect. Now, as we do not have a sign up API, we cannot post any data to our server, MongoDB server. So what we will do, we will create our own data here itself. I think it's still deploying, so the files are not coming here. So now it has created the database and we have our collection and our database. So here you can see there is no file as of now. So as I said earlier, we do not have sign up page. So we are going to create a document by ourselves. We'll click on insert document. For now, just say username, user, and then add one more field. Then that is password, and it is pass. That's it. We're gonna insert it. So now let's go back and test our connection. So I need to change the password. So the password was to do, and I will not be connecting it with the database directly. I'll be specifying the database name. So the database name that we created was TodoDB and the collection name was user. You can see it here. TodoDB is the collection and TodoDB is the database and user is the collection. So now let's try to get this user by username. So what we can do is we can just console.log user dot find one. We only want one document to be retrieved. So we'll just say find one and we'll just specify the JSON user name. If I can type, okay. So username is user. We'll save it. Now, in order to make this file execute, all we need to do is import it here. We'll just say import dot slash repository slash MongoDB. Now, it's saying error. That is why, because if you go to the documentation, you can see we need all these flags in order to make it work. So we'll copy these flags, paste it, and just go back and change deno to denon and call app.ts. Okay. So yeah, that's what I said. You need to have .ts extension or it won't work. Now it's compiling. I hope it works. Okay, so it's a promise. Yeah, correct. It's a promise. Now what we need to do is we need to await till this promise executes. So now let's see, it should have worked. Should get our user. Yeah. So here we see we have got our user. So we have connected. Now we need to complete our controller function. We won't be doing it like this. So we will be creating a function and exporting it. We won't be exposing the database functions. We'll create a new function and then that will internally take care. So we'll say export const get user by username. and we'll pass the username type string, then is equal to, and then ES6 notation. Okay, so this we have done, and what it will do is it will return a weight, and what it will return is a user dot find one username and the username that we have given, username. Now it's throwing error because we haven't written async here. Once you write async, the error will go. So this looks good. We can remove this import as we won't be importing here. Instead, we will be importing it in the controller because we need it there. So we'll say import dot dot slash controller repository slash mongodb.ts. I think you might have noticed. I will just show you one thing. So if we go, you can see there's a Deno plugin. What is this Deno plugin? So in order to work with Mongo, this library, Mongo library downloads few plugins. With those help Mongo, this library to connect to Mongo and other things. So that is why that plugin is required. Also, it is still in its infancy and has not matured. It is unstable. That is why we provide the flag unstable, which denotes that what we are running is unstable and expect errors and bugs so that Deno won't show any unexpected behavior. We'll go ahead, remove this, save it, and now once we console log our body, then we'll get the user, and where we'll get the user from? We'll get the user from Mongo. So what is the function? Get user by username, again .ts. We can remove this. That was just to show you. Yeah. So get user by username, and what we need to pass is our body dot username, and then for now we'll just console dot log it again. User. Yeah. I hope it should work. Let's see. Compiling. Okay, server is up. So we'll execute it. We'll just send it. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Okay, so promise. Correct. It is again async function. We need to write a wait to get the data. Now let's wait for it to be up. So yeah, server is up. We'll send it. And I hope this time it should have worked. Yeah, so we get our user back. Now, all we read is to verify whether the users that we have got is the password is correct or not. So first thing, what we need to do is remove unnecessary data. Now, if there is no user with the username, it will return null. I'll show you that case also. If I just send some gibberish, save it, let it compile, let the server be up. Okay, server is up and we'll send it. Let's see what we get. Oh, we are not console logging it. Console.log user, save it again, same drill. Yeah, server is up. So we'll send, and now I think we should have got it. Yeah, so it returned null. Whenever we send something which is not there in Mongo, it won't throw any error, it will just return null. So what we can do is we will say if, let's make it back, body dot user name. If user is not equal to null, then only we'll check whether the password is correct or not. Then we'll say if user dot password matches matches is equivalent to body dot password. For now, let's just console log a message. Log. Okay, let's just return it. It'll be better. So we'll say rest dot send logged. If I can type logged in exclamation. Let's wait for it to compile. Server is up. Let's go back. Execute this. I hope it works. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, so there is some issue. Okay, typo. Let's save it again. Let it execute. Compiling. Yeah, server is up. So we'll send it. Yeah, so we got it logged in. So this is how we have created a basic API to log in our user, and we have connected to the database in MongoDB. In next video, we will be looking into JOTs and how to hide this URL so that other people do not know your password and your username because that is sensitive data. That's it for this video. See you in the next one. Thank you.